My roommate, Luca, received a wooden parrot as a gift for her birthday when her friend bought it from her homeland Texel. She never liked the bird because she thinks it's ugly and useless. Nobody living in our house likes it. It's the outcast between people and birds. One day she put it in the backyard, and since sometimes we make fire there, she decided to set it on fire to get rid of it. The bird was waiting for its end. But then I saw it, and something inside me didn't want it to leave this world. I took it, gave it a hug, and eternalized it into my computer. Now it's gonna live forever. When I was little, I watched a lot of TV. One of my favorite cartoons was Avatar: The Last Airbender. I loved it because it made me feel peaceful. It was an amazing emotional and fun adventure, and music was a part of it. One kalimba song was stuck with me for years. It sounded like a lullaby. But I couldn't learn it because I didn't know where to find a kalimba. I was 11, I think. After 9 years, I found it in the Netherlands. It was over there, hidden, in a corner in an antique shop in Utrecht. I loved it because it was the first kalimba I saw in my life, and it sounded great. Now I can play my childhood song. In 1976, when my grandfather was young, he used to travel to the Russian part of the Soviet Union. He combined his studies, military duties, and leisure. Going to theater was one of his favorite things. He loved to watch plays at Bolshoi Theater, which has an enormous venue. That's why he bought binoculars to bring the world closer to himself. They are beautifully made, with leather and embossing in the shape of a mask on the case. Then he went to watch the play Three Sisters by Anton Chekhov, which he really loved. My mother loved to travel across Soviet Union. Once, she ended up in Hatyn, a Belarusian village that was burnt down by Nazis in 1943, in revenge for killing a few of their soldiers. As a form of collective punishment, 149 villagers were burnt alive or shot to death, because they possibly helped the partisans. The roofs of the burnt houses are laid on the ground as a reminder of this horrific event. My mother got as a gift a handmade wooden plate in the shape of a duck, carved by an artist living in the newly built village. In Slavic mythology, the duck is a symbol of luck and protector of children. I have never seen my paternal grandma. She died before I was born. In the 80s, she lived in Csongrád, a small Hungarian town. My parents used to travel there to visit her, and they told me she was a shoemaker with an impressive collection. She loved making leather boots, and she gave my mother a pair of hers which she really loved. They are made from a combination of leather and fabric. These are the oldest shoes I've ever had. Now they are 40 years old and just as great as before. One sunny afternoon, I was walking in the Moldavian forest. It was summertime. People walking their dog, running, homeless people sitting on fallen branches of trees and contemplating their next meal or bottle of alcohol. That forest can be many things, from an enchanting, lovely place to a frightening mass of trees with inhuman sounds at night. As I was walking, some random man started following me. Then I stopped and looked back at him. He threw a piece of wood at me and went away for whatever reason. I picked it up. It was good wood. I took it home and made ink patterns with it. Then from those patterns I made hieroglyphs and created a new abstract language. Then I passed open lab class with it, using it in a project. You never know what kind of experiences can connect together without a meaning of which you would know. My grandfather worked for 2 years in Moscow when he was young. The family was waiting for him at home. Since he was away for long, he didn't want to return empty-handed. While there was a general shortage of basic goods in the Soviet Union and little diversity, in Moscow you could find any kinds of richness or imported goods, especially at the main universal supermarket. There were huge crowds in the stores, but there was enough for everyone. My grandpa bought a hairpin for my mother. He chose the most beautiful one in the shape of a flower. It was a rare jewel from Czechoslovakia. My mother doesn't wear it now. She gave it to me as a lucky charm for the long distance separating us.